I often hear the question, what do I need to do to improve my English pronunciation? And if you go on the internet, there's so much advice out there, and some of it is very complicated. That's why in this video, I'm going to guide you through 3 steps. If you follow these 3 steps regularly, I guarantee your English pronunciation will improve. Now, I'm not just going to give you the theory. Of course, I'm going to explain the 3 steps, but then we're going to practice those 3 steps together in a reading exercise. If you keep practicing these reading exercises that I'm going to give you on this channel, following the 3 steps, you really will improve. Let's begin. So step 1 is super simple, but it takes some practice. It is getting the sounds correct in each word. How do you do that? Well, I'm producing video guides for all of the sounds little by little. I've already done 5. Here they are on the screen. All of those 5 sounds you can practice right now. Follow the link which appears here. It might appear here, I can't remember, but follow the link to the playlist. Practice those sounds and then come back to do this reading session to make sure you're getting the sounds correct. Now, remember though, all the sounds here, they're short. Keep them short. O. On this side of the screen, we've got the longer sounds. The longer sound and R sounds. And they're color-coded. As we do the reading session, you can see the letters color-coded to help you remember what sound is correct. Let's begin our reading session. Now, as I read this, I'm not going to make too many long pauses, but please, at home, pause the video, practice, focus on the sounds. Let's begin. Mrs. Hartley, the head librarian, liked to think that she had seen everything. She had worked in the Maple Street Library for almost 20 years. And she believed nothing could surprise her anymore. She was wrong. So are you pausing? Follow along. Practice. Get the sounds right. Now let's do the next paragraph. It started on a quiet Tuesday morning. The library was nearly empty, and the only sounds were the soft click of keyboards and the gentle hum of the air conditioner. Pause the video, practice. Let's carry on. Mrs. Hartley was sorting a cart of returned books when something brushed against her leg. She looked down and saw a cat. It was a fluffy ginger cat with enormous green eyes. It sat perfectly still, staring up at Mrs. Hartley as if waiting for instructions. Pause the video, practice. Well, hello, she whispered. The cat meowed politely, then walked past her straight into the children's section. Pause, practice. It jumped onto a beanbag chair, curled its tail around its paws, and closed its eyes as if it owned the place. How are you getting on with the sounds? Keep practicing. Now let's see what step 2 is, how you can upgrade your reading and your pronunciation even more. So the second step is to really focus on the stress in words and also your intonation. For example, take the word available. Can you hear? Available. I'm stressing the they, that long A sound. Another word, enormous. So you can hear where I'm stressing that could be different to how you would pronounce the word. So listen and copy, and then intonation. Remember coming down at the ideas. Or we might go up. If there's a specific moment of surprise or a question, listen and copy. Let's read. Mrs. Hartley, The head librarian liked to think she had seen everything. Pause the video, practice at home. Let's continue. She had worked in the Maple Street Library for almost 20 years, and she believed nothing could surprise her anymore. She was wrong. It started on a quiet Tuesday morning. The library was nearly empty, and the only sounds were the soft clicking of keyboards and the gentle hum of the air conditioner. Pause the video, practice. Mrs. Hartley was sorting a cart of returned books when something brushed against her leg. Let's move on to the next page of practice. She looked down and saw a cat. Surprise! It was a fluffy ginger cat with enormous green eyes. It sat perfectly still, staring at Mrs. Hartley as if waiting for instructions. Pause and practice. Well, hello, she whispered. The cat meowed politely, then walked past her straight into the children's section. It jumped onto a beanbag chair, curled its tail around its paws, and closed its eyes as if it owned the place. Keep practicing that part. Now, let's move to our final part, step 3. Now, for the connections. Let's read together. Mrs. Hartley, the head librarian, liked to think she had seen everything. Now, let's look at the connection, worked in. Worked in. You try. The next one, for almost. For almost. Let's read that part. She had worked in the Maple Street Library for almost 20 years. Practice. More connections in the next sentence. Her any. Her any. And she believed nothing could surprise her anymore. She was wrong. The next paragraph. Started on. Started on a. The sentence, it started on a quiet Tuesday morning. Next sentence, we have the connection keyboards and. Hum of. Practice. Let's do the sentence, right? The library was nearly empty, and the only sounds were the soft click of keyboards and the gentle hum of the air conditioner. Did you note I didn't connect keyboards and. I could have. I didn't because there was a natural end of the idea, pause, and then moving on. Let's do the last sentence on this page. We've got brushed against, and in the next line up, cart of. Mrs. Hartley was sorting a cart of returned books when something brushed against her leg. Let's move to the next page. Let's continue. Note the first connection, down and. Down and. She looked down and saw a cat. Next paragraph. Some connections. Was a. Can you hear the z sound? Was a. After that, green eyes. Green eyes. Let's read the sentence. It was a fluffy ginger cat with enormous green eyes. Pause. Practice. Next sentence. We have staring up. Staring up. Also, as if. As if. For in. For in. Put the sentence together. It sat perfectly still, staring up at Mrs. Hartley as if waiting for instructions. Well, hello, she whispered. Last paragraph. Let's look at the connections. Straight into. Straight into. A sentence. The cat meowed politely, then walked past her, straight into the children's section. Last sentence. Jumped onto. Jumped onto. Get that don sound. Jumped onto. Curled its. Curled its. Around its. And also, we've got many connections here. Closed its eyes as if it, its own. Let's slide them all together. This is difficult, but great practice. And closed its eyes as if it owned the place. Let's do that last sentence all together. It jumped onto a beanbag chair, curled its tail around its paws, and closed its eyes as if it owned the place. Improving your pronunciation is one of the most powerful things you can do to improve your English. So why not sign up for some specific pronunciation online one-on-one classes with myself, in which we are going to practice all of these details and also help you speak like this in normal conversations. If that sounds appealing, please email me here at this address on the screen and we can organize a free trial class. Let's get back to our practice. So well done, you completed the 3-step process. Can you remember the steps? 1, get the sound correct. 2, intonation and stress in the correct places. 3, connected speech. If you keep practicing, you really will improve. Now, if you'd like more help with that, please send me an email. Here is the address, and I can help you personally on one-on-one online classes. Also, there's lots more content coming soon, so I'd really appreciate a subscribe and a thumbs up. And all I can say now is thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.